ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Today I am going to talk about the mystery of death and secret of immortality. The greatest mystery of human existence pertains to the fundamental question as to what is death, and is there anything called immortal life? Death and immortality both are present right here, right now. Within you, within me, and within everything we know about. Your personality has basically two dimensions. The one that you know of, your external appearance as the body, your body complex as you consider as your true personality is really your mortal, ephemeral, false dimension of your personality. If you think and believe that your personality is limited and rooted in the body consciousness, then you are dead. You are already dead. It's just a matter of time. Body is a finite, momentary, ephemeral appearance. So, if you think yourself as body, there is no way and nothing can save you from death. Death for you is the life force within you, the power of consciousness, the light of consciousness within you, which illumines and reveals every moment of your life, is your life force. That is the conscious dimension of your personality. That dimension of your personality is unborn, immutable, and immortal. So, put it simply, it's up to you to which dimension of your personality do you identify with. If you consider yourself as inert, insentient, unconscious, body-mind complex, you are bound to die. Death is imminent to you. And no one has created death for you but you yourself. Your belief about your personality, your identity, your body consciousness is what ensures your death. Anything and everything that is inert, insentient, unconscious is subject to birth, mutation, decay, and death. But the source, substance, and substratum of every gross, inert, insentient object is the light of consciousness, which reveals and illumines even the inert, insentient objects. Every single gross object of name and form is revealed in the vast space of pure awareness, that illuminating power of consciousness that is immortal, eternal dimension of your personality. So if you identify yourself, that is your personality, your identity is rooted in that conscious dimension of your existence, then you are immortal, you are eternal. Nothing can kill you, nothing can touch you, nothing can harm or hurt you. The conscious, immortal dimension of your personality alone is responsible for every single experience of your life. Even the entire objective world and experiences of the objective world are made possible by the vast and infinite space of pure awareness. All the experiences take place in that realm of pure awareness. That field of pure awareness is infinite, non-dual, and eternal reality. That is known as Self, Supreme Self, Brahman, God. That is source, substance, and substratum of all. That one non-dual substratum is source of all the dual, diverse world of external objective perception. The entire phenomenal world of duality happens or is cognized or experienced only in, upon, and through the substratum called pure awareness. That is Brahman, that is Paramatman, that is Self. That you are, that I am, that is eternal truth. But our illusory perception and understanding about our personality as being body-centered, our identification with the body-mind complex alone is responsible for our death. What do I mean? Do I mean that if you identify with pure consciousness, then this body will remain for thousands of years? No. What I mean is that this body in any case doesn't in reality exist. It's an appearance. It's your illusion, ignorance that you have come to believe that this body is a reality. The more body-mind complex is an appearance in, upon, and through that eternal dimension of you called consciousness. So if you identify yourself with that immortal dimension of your personality, that's pure consciousness, then right now, right here, you become immortal. The body and mind no longer have any binding impact on you. That is called bondage. What is bondage? As long as you continue to identify yourself, your true personality being rooted in body-mind complex, you are bound. That is called bondage. That's source of innumerable rounds of death and birth, sorrow and suffering, due to illusory identification with this body-mind complex. But once you disidentify yourself with this body-mind complex, that is inert, body-mind complex by themselves are inert, body-mind don't have any life force within themselves. The life force that runs and governs the body-mind, that life force is called self, pure consciousness. That force is eternal, immortal, uncaused, self-existing. That's the supreme reality. The entire objective world is a shadow, a manifestation, a reflection of that reality. So, you have identified yourself with a reflection, a shadow of the reality. The body-mind complex is a shadow. Shadow must disappear. That is called death. But the real is never going to disappear. The real, that is the eternal existence that you are. You are eternal life, immortal existence as pure consciousness. That is never going to disappear. That is beyond birth and death. But your deep attachment with body-mind consciousness has made you oblivious of your own eternal nature. Your preoccupation, your eternal obsession with your body-mind complex, and body-mind complex are in the realm of objective world. The entire objective world is illusory, false. The truth lies in the subjective world. In Vedanta philosophy, the subject alone is true. The object is an illusory, a mere reflection of the subject. So this subject-object relationship exists only in the realm of ignorance, in the world of duality. in this phenomenal world. So that's why this entire phenomenal world is an appearance, an illusion. Jagat Mithya. The universe is false in this sense that this world of name and forms has no existence of its own. It's a mere reflection of the subject that is pure awareness. Infinite and vast field of pure awareness alone is the supreme reality. In, upon, and through which the entire cosmic drama is played out. In reality, there is no object. Subject alone is the reality. According to one of the fundamental principles of Vedanta, Drik Brahmeti Drishyamayeti Sarva Vedanta Nishyaha. Seer, perceiver alone is truth. The object of perception is false, imaginary, illusory. The entire objective world is inherent within the subject, that is the seer and perceiver. Mandukya Upanishad, and especially the Mandukya Karika, has, that is what is regarded as the foundation of non-dual Vedanta. Acharya Gaudapad's commentary on Mandukya Upanishad lays down the foundations of non-dual Vedanta philosophy, and it says that all objective worlds are inherent in one subject. Subject alone is truth, and subject is just one, that is non-dual, an infinite and immortal, conscious reality. The objective world being perceived or seen is an extension, an illusion, a reflection of the mind. The mind alone manifests as the entire world of duality, the phenomenal world of name and form. The supreme reality as seer or perceiver is of the nature of pure awareness, is without form and name and non-dual, but the same pure awareness on its own volition imagines things. When it imagines things, it's the faculty of imagination is called mind. Through its own volition, it imagines, conceives, conceptualizes objective world. So the entire objective or phenomenal world of name and form is nothing but an imagination, a chain of imagination, conceptualization of the mind. And mind too is revealed and illumined by ultimately the power of pure awareness. So when mind is conscious of objective world, the world of names and forms, that mind or that jiva or that ego-based individuality is called bound. It becomes conditioned. It becomes finite and ephemeral and mortal, illusory. The same mind, when detaches itself from the objective and external world of names and forms and returns back to its source. What source of the mind? The source of the mind is nothing but pure awareness. All cognition, experience of the objective world, that is experienced through mind, happens in the light of consciousness alone. But once the mind returns back to its own source, it dissolves back in the formless, nameless, non-dual, indivisible, vast, infinite light of pure consciousness. Then it becomes the supreme reality. Then it has no death. So, birth and death are created by mind. Birth and death are mental fiction. There is no birth and death, and there is neither this objective world of phenomenal duality beyond the realm of mind and thoughts. That's why once you go in transcendental meditation or nirvikalpa samadhi, where the mind completely comes to an end, the mind becomes no mind. When you are established in a state of no mind, then you are face to face with supreme reality, because the distorting faculty of reality, that's the mind and thoughts, is no more there. So in the complete absorption of mind, the state called a state of no mind or savikalpa samadhi or transcendental meditation, you transcend the realm of thoughts and mind. Then there is complete, perfect, total, absolute reality of the nature of bliss consciousness. It's a formless, nameless, attributeless reality. That is your reality. Every moment that reality is present inside you, inside me, and every living being. It never dies because it was never born. What is born and what dies is an illusory image called birth and death, that is created by ego-based personality, the mind and the thoughts. So, immortality or death are created by none other than you. If you want to be immortal, None can kill you. The science of immortality, the secret of immortality is that once you identify yourself completely with that immortal dimension of your personality, that is of the nature of pure consciousness, immortal you become right now, right here. And as long as you continue to be rooted in the belief of being body-mind complex, if this dimension of your personality you believe in, you identify with, then nothing and no one can save you from death. Death and life are imaginary, created by your own fiction of imagination, mental imagination. No one else is responsible for your death. No one else is going to make you immortal. If you take a firm resolve with the knowledge and knowing the secret of immortality, stop you. And the secret is this alone. As long as you identify yourself with the mortal, you are bound to die. And the entire world of duality or the gross world, the objective world is inert, unconscious. So it must die. That which makes the entire objective world being perceived, cognized, experienced, that power is the power of pure consciousness. So wherever there is consciousness, there is life, there is immortality. So put it in simple words, break your all relationships, your identity, your attachments with the inert, unconscious, insentient body-mind complex, which is liable to death, and realign your energies, mental energies. Re-identify yourself. Attach yourself to the conscious, that is Chaitanya. Re-establish your relationship, your identity with the conscious dimension of your personality, which is present, ever present as witnessing consciousness, as self within yourself, which is making every moment of your life possible. So, life and death are absolutely in our hands. Nobody else is responsible for your death. Nobody else is going to make you immortal. If you want to become immortal, identify yourself with Chaitana, pure consciousness, and disidentify with everything that is jada, that is insentient and inert. The body-mind complex, the senses, and all the external world is jada, in the realm of jada, which is at the root of all your sorrows and sufferings. As long as you are jada, that is inert, insentient, you are bound to suffer. The moment you identify yourself as Chaitana, as pure consciousness, you are free from all the sorrows, sufferings, birth and death, and all the conditioned repercussions of an identity. Anything and everything that is condition must suffer by the forces that are conditioning it. But awareness is an absolute reality. Pure awareness, bliss consciousness, and loving intelligence is self-existing, absolute reality, unconditioned. Our perpetual preoccupation with the external world, the world of name and forms, and always being preoccupied mentally with the name and form distracts us from our real nature as pure awareness. That is the root ignorance, that is the root of all the sorrows and sufferings. All the spiritual practices that are required for this much alone, that you have continued to identify yourself, you have continued to be preoccupied mentally with names and forms, the entire external world of names and forms, which makes you finite, conditioned, and mortal. Break free from that and re-identify with your absolute nature right within yourself. Take a U-turn. The seer within yourself, the perceiver within yourself, the illuminator, revealer within yourself is a self-existing reality that's unconditioned. It's conditioned by none. The self within you, the witnessing consciousness, the perceiving power, the life force within you is an unconditioned reality. Nothing can condition it, nothing can make it finite. You are immortal and infinite, absolute reality, but just by aligning mentally and always thinking about finite, mortal, objective world, one or the other objects, you are always identifying with the conditioned world. The one who is unconditioned and absolute is through continuous chain of thoughts alone, reducing itself to become conditioned, finite, perishable. Your thoughts alone are making you perishable, momentary, vulnerable, and amenable to all the sorrows and sufferings. So, there is no other enemy in your life. There is no enemy in your life other than your compulsive chain of thoughts. Thoughts about one after another imaginary object. Thought about one or the other desire, hope, expectations. All hopes, expectations are all false. Because you are absolute, you have all that could be conceived of. There is no power, there is no glory, there is no might, there is no beauty, there is no love, bliss and happiness outside you. The entire universe exists within you as pure consciousness. But by thinking of the finite conditioned objects in your mind, you make yourself conditioned, finite, mortal. And that makes you feel that you are dying. You are meeting death. And that you take birth. That ego-based identity alone is responsible for your bondage, sorrows, sufferings, and death and birth. Therefore, break free from the compulsive chain of thoughts which make you believe that your thoughts and thought created artificial set of problems or artificial set of pleasures and pains. These are all artificial. They exist in the mind. And as long as you continue to be guided, governed, and dominated by mind and mental thought forms, you will be devoid of seeing your true nature that is within yourself. The grandeur and glory of your true personality, immortal, infinite, almighty personality within yourself will become and will remain a distant dream, because you would be ever busy in the false image of name and forms. Even though you will continue to remain that supreme reality, but on the surface of the ocean, the ripples and the waves appear to be distinct, different, with the name and form. They rise, they exist, they flow, and they disappear. That is what the ego-based mind thoughts are creating every moment through obsessive chain of thoughts. Therefore, if you want to become immortal and you realize your immortal nature, if you want to test the nectarine beauty of your true dimension of personality, that is conscious, blissful, loving, infinite and vast space of awareness, you have to identify yourself with that field of stillness, the field of beingness. Your life is currently being dominated by action, effort, endeavor, because the mind is creating this illusion. The moment you explore the realm of stillness, beingness, stillness and beingness can be perceived and experienced only in the present moment as it is, right within yourself in the light of consciousness. Once you are established in the light of consciousness within, the entire objective world dissolves. The obsessive chain of compulsive thoughts dissolves. Whatever remains is infinite field of pure awareness. That's of the nature of infinite bliss, unconditioned love, everlasting beauty, that is within yourself, that you realize by yourself, that you experience and enjoy by yourself. Then there is nothing outside you, and you realize that this entire world of phenomenal duality being presented as objective world is an illusion. That objective world is an extension and projection of my own mind, being illumined by the same power of infinite pure awareness. So, once I am conscious of nothing but consciousness alone, when the subject is conscious of not the object but subject alone, that state is called the supreme state. The entire universe dissolves into nothingness, into vast and infinite, formless, nameless, attributeless space of pure awareness, blissful consciousness. That's known as self, that's known as Brahman or God. That kingdom of God, as Jesus Christ says, is right within you, right within everyone. The sages and seers of Vedanta, thousands of years ago, discovered that infinite empire of self within themselves and declared that there is nothing beyond me. Aham Brahmasmi. I am everything. I am all in all. I am full of whole. I am whole of the whole. That whole of whole, Aham Brahmasmi, is not body, is not an identity based on name and form, but that dimension of the personality present and as ever-present awareness within yourself, which enables every experience of yours. Once you experience firsthand, no amount of study of scriptures is going to make you realize the grandeur and greatness of your true nature within. Your personal direct experience by turning your attention, all mental attention from the objective world to the inward, the attention within, and attention within means attention on the seer, the perceiver, the subject. The moment this attention on the seer, perceiver, or subject is complete, the subjective objective hiatus disappears. The object disappears in the subject. The form, the name, and the attributes all dissolve back in the formless, nameless, attributeless, eternal reality. So there is no way to realize and make yourself immortal except to know the immortal dimension of your personality that is right now, and it was ever present within you, it will ever be present within you, but out of ignorance you will be suffering death and birth. It will happen under illusion and ignorance. So break free all the relationship, all identity, all attachment with the body-mind complex mentally only. You don't have to chop off your head or cut off your limbs to break free from the body-mind complex. It happens at the mental level because the bondage too is mental. Mind alone creates all the bondage. So let's for a while go within to have a first-hand experience of that immortal dimension of our personality. Discover the immortal dimension of your personality, that is fulsome reality, wholesome reality, eternal reality, free from all sorrows and sufferings, eternally blissful reality within ourselves by disidentifying ourselves mentally from this body-mind complex and turning our attention within and try to dissolve your thoughts, ever restless mind producing thoughts and identifying with the thoughts and running after thoughts, after the sensory perception, creating that vibration in the mind. Every single sensory perception creates some sensation and vibration that's illusory, that creates some disturbance in the mind, that imaginary thoughts are created, and that thought form becomes your true identity. That's a false identity. To dissolve all this through simply dissociating with all the thought forms and returning back to your own source, that is at the center of your heart. Ever-present reality of the nature of pure consciousness, the seer, the perceiver, which is formless, nameless. See the seer, perceive the perceiver, thereby you dissolve all the duality. And duality alone is death. There is no death to non-dual existence. Duality alone is death. Inert and insentient alone is death. Gross objects made of name and form alone are death. That which is nameless, formless, attributeless, which is conscious and which is non-dual, is immortal. Always immortal. That you are, that you are, that is your true nature. For a while I'll go silent and deep within. I will test the nectar of my own self, the nectarine bliss within myself. You can join me. You may take the help of the mantra Soham, I am that. I am that means I am that infinite vast space of pure awareness. That is the life, entire life force. That is called Brahman, that is called self. That is non-dual reality, eternal, immortal reality. It's ever present within me. It's a wholesome reality. It's an infinite ocean of joy, bliss and beauty. I will test for myself. I will stop for the time being so that I can go within myself. To become, to first perceive my immortal dimension, taste the nectar of my immortal dimension, and get deeply established. When the seer sees nothing but the seer itself, that is a state of moksha, that is a state of liberation, that is a state of becoming immortal. So, immortality is in your hands. Identify with the immortal dimension within yourself and become immortal. I hope and pray that all of you realize the immortal dimension within yourself in this lifetime and become immortal right here, right now, in this very mortal body of flesh, blood, and bones. Let us now experience this truth for ourselves. You can use the mantra Soham, I am that, I am that. That will be helpful. I will go for that deep transcendental meditation for 5 minutes. Soma Jyotirgamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Om Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om lead us from truth. Om lead us from falsehood to truth. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.